All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Bringing to you today a Division D East match between Zul'jin Distillery and Screaming Weenies. And I am joined here by Felindrith. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good to be here.
So, this is a map I love, and I know we talked about this earlier. You like this map as well.
I do.
What are you kind of looking for a strategy maybe that these teams could go
Well,
for?
they're starting out with the Lily band, so I don't actually know what to expect right now, but
Yeah,
uh,
wow. That's
uh,
interesting.
so I don't know if Zul'jin knows something that we don't, or if they're planning to maybe run a more auto attack focused build. But that is certainly an unusual ban for NGS as a whole right now. So they either have something specific in mind, or they just kind of hate pandas. I don't really know which one.
Yeah, and I have not seen either of these teams play yet, so I don't know whether they know each other really well, and maybe there's something we don't know about what's going on the side of Screaming Weenies. You know, maybe Lily is a hero that they've been known to play in the past. So
I mean, they played it in one of their games, it looks like. But yeah, it's the beginning of the season. We don't know too much about either of the teams. It is actually fun to note that neither of these teams have actually won a game on Infernal Shrines. Uh, so, we'll get to see what they want to bring out.
all
So
right.
I do know that Zul'jin has been prioritizing first pick supports. So either they want a specific support, they like Lucio, it looks like, from their previous games. But it's a Hanzo first. That's really good for, mercenary control and also the shrine minions, because the scatter arrow just, deletes them. Uh, so Will's a pretty solid first pick. We'll see
Yeah.
what the response is.
Yeah, and I certainly do not blame Screaming Weenies for banning the garage. Garage just
Yeah.
really makes you change your positioning completely. You always have to keep in mind, where he's at and make sure you don't get thrown, and they just don't want to
hmm
deal with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of just threat on the shrines too, right? Because you got to get in close to get in that shrine, and like the terrain is very close together, so you can really easily get thrown into a very bad position if you're not careful. So
Definitely.
uh, they just don't want to deal with that on the shrines. Looks like.
All right, we've got two picks incoming here for Screaming
hmm
Weenies. Let's see what they do. All right. Well,
Diablo's nice.
Diablo is great on this map. You get
hmm
in on those shrines. There's plenty of walls for you to slam people into. That's solid, and Stukov as well with those silences,
hmm
just covering the shrine
Yeah,
area.
that's already just a great pair to have on shrines. Stukov also is super high priority in NGS as a whole right now. Usually picked up in the first ban phase or first pick phase, really consistently actually. I don't know, maybe it was the Western Clash, but everyone really wants Stukov right now. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
noting Phoenix was left up, so I don't know if uh Liljin's gonna pick it, but it is an option.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I actually just noticed that because Phoenix is usually banned.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
right. I wonder if what we will see a Phoenix pick up here.
I could actually see them going. They could pick a Phoenix and then ban Cassia if they really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get rid of the blinds. And since Weenie's already picked up a tank, it might be. I don't know if they'd go for Johanna. Okay,
Oh,
so Lucio and E2C. All right.
yeah. Well, I mean, those are two just all around solid heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally get why they would do that. And I think you said that it looked like Zul'jin Distillery tends to like playing Lucio, and that makes sense. They would pick him up before the ban phase to make sure they don't get banned off that hero.
They do. They do. Their support player has played Lucio 4 times and has not lost a game yet. So, we'll see if they're able to keep that up.
Nice. What are you
Yeah,
thinking for a ban here? Maybe for Screaming Weenies. What do you?
good
What if
question.
you were them? What would you want to get rid of?
That's a great question right now. Zildjian has like a really solid overall draft right now. Like their last two picks can flex to a variety of things. Um, I think it's a little tough. Maybe a solo laner.
Mm-hmm.
You get rid of that sort of pressure on the map. Um, But yeah, I'm not really sure because that's like a really nice trio to kind of start your draft with. Yep.
Oh,
All right, there's Sonya.
well, there's your solo laner, and
Yeah,
Sonya is
there it
just
is.
spectacular on the shrines. Just
Mm-hmm.
spinning to win. Taking out all those little like I guess shrine monkeys. I heard someone call them.
Yeah, the monkeys. Yeah, I
Yep.
don't remember who named that one, but yes, the shrine monkeys. She also heals off of that too, so it's a lot of sustain and it's tough to kind of fight a Sonya on the shrines.
Yeah, for sure. Zul'jin Distillery is having a chromie
Chrome.
ban here. Um,
I actually kind of like that. Just you know, Lucio does have a hard time with the kind of like poke burst that Chromie can do. Depending on what Chromie does at level 8, with the temporal loop can really mess up a Lucio, but
yeah.
they might be thinking about Genji instead.
Yeah, it looks to me that they're thinking about protecting their Hanzo here, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, they go with Chromie. Yeah, I think both Genji and Chromie are kind of similar there, right? Because
yeah.
both of them can kind of get onto Hanzo and kind of force him out of the fight. So interesting.
We've got
Still, still
B
don't know why that.
Meduho in Twitch chat. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. He's here. He or she, sorry, is here ready to cheer on the weenies.
All right, scream for the screaming weenies.
Yeah, and
All right.
Candace Buer is enjoying the Diablo pick, saying it's perfect for
Yeah,
this map.
I love Diablo and Shrine. There's just so many opportunities to pull off those slam combos. Um, can really, at later levels shred high health targets too, because you just slam them into one wall, pick them up, and then slam them into the one that's right next to you. So,
Yeah,
uh,
for sure.
it's a surprising amount of damage that you can get out of him on shrines.
Yeah, especially if you go the charge quest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You could really and you could
Hmm.
really. Oh wow. Okay.
Junkrat and Zebo. So it's interesting to note also that Junkrat is, I think, one of Screaming Weenie's like favored heroes. They seem to just kind of like picking him up in all the games they've played so far. So that looks more like a comfort pick from them. Um,
Yeah, Junkrat is can also be really good against ETC if he goes Mosh.
mhm,
Get that mine in there, blow him out of Mosh.
mhm.
You guys got really good poking in on the shrine, and then Nazebo, if he gets a good wall, can really give someone a bad day.
Yeah, yeah. It's very much on Junkrat to basically also be one of those disruptors, right? Because depending on what Zul'jin goes for, there might be a strong front line that they have to disengage from, or use the mines for picks, hopefully. Um, yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can get value with Junkrat around the shrines.
Yeah, this is
Fun.
going to be a fun game. I could already tell. I love Junkrat. He's so exciting to watch.
Haka Jana. All right. So the Haka is great for getting that split, pressure on shrines. And Jaina
Mm.
also just adds like a ton of wave clear to the, objective and the lanes.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Jaina is also fantastic with ETC. If he
yeah.
goes
Yep.
Mosh, he could drop the ring down right there as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a solid
Yeah.
combination.
It's gonna be a bit of a waiting game to make sure that Junkrat can't interrupt the mines. Diablo doesn't have an apocalypse ready to go. Lucio doesn't have a cleanse, so if ETC does go for mosh pit, he's gonna have to time them really well, or stun the right people so that they can get maximum value out of that.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be pretty tough actually. Looking at at the other teams. Stukov can interrupt Smosh from a distance. Diablo can hit APOC whenever he wants
Yeah.
at level 10.
Junkrat's got the
Junkrat's got the
mine.
mines. So yeah, we'll see. If we can get the legendary 5-man Mosh.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking we're going to get a warrior here. Some kind of
Maybe,
bruiser, maybe?
potentially, or burst damage is something they could use.
Whoa!
Well,
Whoa!
that is burst damage.
I was not expecting that at all. Wow.
I was
Okay.
expecting something like a Kael'thas or some
Okay.
other burst mage
Well,
like that.
they've got a very squishy Jaina, very squishy Hanzo. I can understand where they're going with this. Solo tank Diablo should be just fine.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't object because I mean, so Hanzo has a number of ways to reveal Nova. So hopefully he's on top of his vision game there.
Hmm.
Um, But other than that, yeah, Nova can just get back there, just hopefully burst down, Hanzo, Lucio, or Jaina before they have a chance to react. If they manage to get those picks, the fight could very easily turn in the Screaming Weenies' favor. But
Hmm.
if they're not able to, take out one of those heroes like before the fight starts, it's gonna be a little tough.
Yeah, from my point of view, I feel like Zul'jin Distillery has kind of the more solid comp, but I've got to say the Screaming Weenies is really exciting. Their comp is
Yeah,
really exciting to me.
yeah, I think I describe Zul'jin as like, the kind of the safe composition on Infernal Shrines. Like they kind of have everything you need for the objective on this map. With Hanzo and Jaina should be able to burn through the shrine, no problem.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, we'll see how they do.
This is going to be fun.
All right. I still wonder about that Lily band though. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
Nothing in their draft suggested that they were going to do anything. But okay, we are in the game. We're ready to go.
All right. All right, so for Zul'jin Distillery, blue team, we have DeWitt playing ETC, Ellerin on Jaina, Bifresh on Hanzo, Lucio is going to be played by Nutcracker, and Ankle Shot on Dahaka.
All right, and on the red side, we have the Screaming Weenies. We have Eudonomancer on Diablo. Hope I pronounced that right. Mewman13 on Junkrat. Tadarkius on Nazebo. I probably butchered that. Pez on Nova. And Grogman on Stukov.
All
Teams,
right.
please correct us if you pronounce your names wrong, because we want to get it right.
Absolutely. All right, so it looks like Dahaka's splitting up top right away. So we're going to have 5 in the middle here for Screaming Weenies and 4 from Zul'jin Distillery.
Yeah, Screaming Weenies, the Hug is already up there in the top lane, so hopefully they rotate someone up there fast so they don't lose out too much on the minion XP, the most important part of the early game. Kind of just poking in mid lane, looks like. He slides in, tries to get Nazebo.
Ooh, Naziba is in a little trouble, but he's able to back out.
Just kind of walks away. Not too much threat right now with the Haka in the top lane.
So we do have Junkrat going up top to face off with the Dahaka.
Yeah, so they lost about one minion wave up top, so that's a small advantage. Minion wave still super important. Looks like they're evenly soaking right now, so it's kind of playing the waiting game. Looks like.
Yeah. So we've got 2 members coming up from the bottom lane for Zul'jin Distillery here. So it looks like they might be starting up a rotation, maybe a 4-man rotation between middle and bottom.
Yeah, they definitely have the wave clear to do that. Jaina just hits the blizzard on all the minions, and then you go to the other lane and just kind of do the roaming 4-man squad. That makes it really difficult for Screaming Weenies to do a rotation, right? Because if you get caught out by that 4-man as like 1 or 2 people, that's basically a free kill.
Yeah. Jaina heading back bottom here along with ATC.
Hanzo getting poked down by Nova. Nova is kind of sticking around the mid lane for now. Hope to see her start roaming soon. Yep, there she goes. Off to the bot lane, see if she can get a pick.
Yeah, I'm thinking her prime targets are going to be Jaina and Hanzo.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. But she's not going to find anyone because, they're already rotating back up to the mid lane. Doing a very good 4-man rotation. Actually catching up in XP a bit too. So
Yeah.
we both hit 4 at the exact same time.
Yeah, maybe the Nova can kind of set up between the mid and bottom lanes and try to catch one of those squishies on the rotation, maybe.
It's difficult though, right? Because they're rotating as at least 2 people. So like Nova can try to get 1, but the rest of the team isn't far behind. So it actually makes it really difficult for Screaming Weenies to get a pick with just a Nova.
Right.
So she's just kind of hanging around in the lane, trying to soak that XP as Zul'jin starts the bottom camp. This is great timing too. The shrine is going to come up in like just a second. I think it might have been better for them to get the one at top because that one, that top camp would push on the opposite lane.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a good camp to grab.
Yeah, I agree. If Dahaka was able to pick up their bruisers up there, he could be pushing with them right now and getting a lot of good value.
Mhm. He's still getting good value though. It looks like they're going to try to Jin started the shrine. Dahaka's burrowing in right now. You see Screaming Weenies setting up. Neither team are that close to 7 yet, so we'll see if an engage happens or if they just kind of poke at each other.
Yeah, so far it looks like they're happy to just kind of poke.
Mm-hmm. All right, score about 10 ahead in favor of Zul'jin on the shrine. ETC gets down to half health, poked out by Nova.
Nova gets low, is able to back out and get healed up by Stukov. Just with the positioning, Zul'jin is kind of, got the advantage here as far as getting the shrine cleared. They're already at 35.
It's interesting. It's difficult. Screaming Weenies seemed like they didn't really want to commit to anything. They might have felt like they were, too far behind in the levels, and they just decided to poke and, didn't really get anything done on these shrines. So I would have liked to see them, go to lanes instead of just kind of sitting around the objective, just trying to, get more XP if they're going to give up that objective that easily.
So the Punisher in the bottom lane here is going to get the front wall in about half of the fort. Actually, looks like they're going to be able to finish off this fort.
Yeah. Diablo looked like he was going to grab Hanzo, but had second thoughts. Nazebo is in top lane, matching Dahaka. They're still, Weenies are still losing XP in the mid lane. So, yeah, I mean, I think, if they're just going to poke out the shrine like that and not really commit to taking the fight, it would be really good, to make sure that you're on even talent tiers for the next, objective, right? So they gave up a lot of XP in the other lanes. Now they are a full level behind when they could have been even, if they had stoked the lanes.
Yep. And it looks like Screaming Weenies is going to pick up their first camp of the game, I believe. Here.
Oh, they're going to try. Hanzo knows they're doing it, so we'll see if there's... Oh, they safely grab that camp. Let's see. Oh, we have some stacking quests going on right now. ETC's Prog Rock is 17 out of 20. Oh, there's Engage, and Nova gets picked off. Nice slide by ETC there.
Yeah, Zul'jin Distillery is clearing up this camp here, and they're pushing in with their own camp on this middle wall.
Yep, Dahaka is just kind of keeping that mid lane, top lane, sorry, frozen. Looks like they're going for a gank on Stukov. I don't know if he sees this.
He might be in trouble here.
Maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for him to get away. Nova's on the way to help out, but it's going to be a little bit too late.
Yep.
And with that, Zul'jin has level 10. We have the ultimates being picked up. Sound Barrier for Lucio. We have Ring of Frost for Jaina. Isolation on Dahaka. And ETC and Hanzo are holding their ultimates for now.
ETC trying to decide whether to go stage dive or mosh pit, and he does go with mosh pit.
All right. Let's see him. Got to make sure that he has, successfully moshed everyone who can possibly interrupt. And that, also that Weenies are on top of their interrupt game. So, see how it works out. It's a pretty big advantage, the shrine will be spawning soon, I believe. We have 2 quests completed. We have Prog Rock on ETC and Fingers of Frost on Jaina. So Jaina has bonus damage on Frostbite now, and ETC also heals his allies when using his guitar solo.
Then extra healing is always welcome for these huge team fights we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, especially against the Zebo.
So we've got the heroics going out now for Screaming Weenies, and we do have Apocalypse for Diablo, Riptire for Junkrat, Gargantuan for Nazebo, and Flailing Swipe for some Disengage for Stukov. And Nova hasn't decided on hers quite yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm hoping to see, yeah.
All right. You're gonna try to get a
might as well go
target.
all the way, right?
Yep. All right, so I think it's up to Screaming Weenies to pick an engage here,
Yeah, same thing's happening again here with Zul'jin getting themselves settled.
Yeah, they're comfortably on the shrine. Ooh, that's gonna be a mosh.
Only gets
interrupted
Diablo
instantly,
though.
basically. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
nice
Mir
Riptire.
Frost comes out. Let's see if they get any. Ooh, Hanzo's arrow hits everyone. Not able to confirm a kill yet.
We got
Diablo
a
gets
drag
stunned
on
and he goes
Diablo.
down. Dahaka might be next to Folly. Wow, nice. Nice work by Nova there. Just dishing out all that burst damage. They're trying to grab Junkrat, but Hanzo has to be careful that he doesn't fall. Nice. All right. Well, Weenies managed to pick up a 2-for-1. Diablo is going to be right back because he had souls. So now he's a little bit less tanky, but he is back in the fight more like quicker than Dahaka is. So we'll see if
Yeah.
they're able to make up this, 20, I guess, monkey difference.
It's going to be difficult, but they're finally positioned on the shrine. I like that, they've taken over and are owning that area and
Yeah, and
forcing
zombie.
the other team to come to them.
Oh, here comes the APOC. It's Jaina. Looks like they're trying to pick her off.
Stukov is in a
Uh,
little trouble in the
yeah.
back. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. He's silenced.
Goes out on Stukov, and he should fall as well. Yeah, so that's difficult, right? That's kind of one of the difficulties with a single tank Diablo comp, because if Diablo goes in and picks a target, right, that means that the back line is completely open to one of the tanks on Zul'jin Distillery's side.
Absolutely.
So
Especially with Diablo, the way he charges, he had
Mhm.
put a pretty big gap there, like you're talking about, and
Mhm.
plenty of room for Zul'jin Distillery to kind of slip in there and get on the back line.
Yep, that looks like exactly what happened. They got split by ETC. Oh, arrow comes
Oh,
out,
nice
and
stun,
all right, he finally
followed by
gets
a
picked up.
ring.
Yeah. Diablo, yep, he's caught too far out.
Really
Nice.
nice
What?
drags by
Yeah.
ankle shot on Dahaka this game so far.
That was a nice flailing swipe
Oh,
by Frogman. Oh,
three two
there.
three.
Yeah, that was a nice swipe actually to try to save Diablo, but he was just out a little bit too far. So he still hasn't regained his souls and goes down.
uh,
We
wow,
have a
okay.
Sounds like we have a keyboard cat on the field. Okay.
All right.
Candace was asking
Back.
Twitch chat about the Nova on the 3-lane map. I think the thought is that you're able to catch someone out on rotation. Stealthies provide a lot of extra vision on these sort of maps, and if you're able to scout out the rotations, you can set up ganks and get those picks. But Screaming Weenies have not been able to do that due to the 4-man rotation that was set up in early game. That was a nice mine by Junkrat. No
Yeah.
one's in position to get Janice, so we'll see if she falls. Not enough damage from the Riptire, but Lucio
Wow.
picked off on the other side.
They got a little split apart there, I guess.
Hmm?
After Jaina got
Hanzo needs to be careful.
separated.
And
from
now Noah needs to
everyone.
be careful because she went a little bit too deep for that. Yep.
Another great tongue from Dahaka.
Yeah. Baited. Yep. All right. Seems like that they're going back to laning. Zul'jin's picking up another mercenary camp, getting some map pressure. Zebo grabs their summoner camp up top, getting the top lane map pressure. He'll continue to kind of push that lane down. Diablo's getting picked off in the middle. Uses APOC, but it has no effects.
Yeah. At that point, I think you just kind of have to give up and
Yeah,
save that heroic just in case.
Agreed. Right, exactly. It's one of those things where you're going to die anyway. That you're not really going to get any value out of it, so you might as well save it. APOC, we don't have the cooldown timers yet, Blizzard, please. But, that's going to be down for at least another 75 seconds
Yep.
at this point. So, let's say a big cooldown burns for nothing.
Zul'jin Distillery picking up their bruiser camp. And
Yeah,
this one will be pushing opposite of where the shrine's going to activate, so they
Yeah.
might have wanted to wait just a little longer on that, just so that Screaming Weenies isn't able to go up and just clean that up.
Yeah, it looks like Zebo. I don't know if he's going to stop in mid lane and clean that up, but they'll probably move up there to clean it up before that shrine starts. Zul'jin just kind of waiting for the objective now. Yeah, I agree. I think holding off on that shrine capture right about now, if you take it, with 15 seconds to go on the shrine activation, prevents exactly what's happening right now. You know.
So Zul'jin, they see Screaming Weenies up in the top lane. I wonder if they're going to set something up to try to catch him on rotation here.
Oh, just a note on Stukov's talent. Stukov did not go the root combo build. He went lingering spines at 13, so the silence persists for longer, but he doesn't have the ability to do the root. Let's see, what other interesting things do we have? We have the numbing blast
We've
on
got an
Jaina.
engage and a mosh here. Triple
Good
tap going
Mosh.
out.
Nice pick on Junkrat. That was a great shield too by Lucio to prevent the Riptire from doing too much damage.
Oh, Ring catches
Uh,
2.
yeah, this is looking like a full team wipe for Zul'jin. Almost.
Oh, wow. Diablo gets caught by the Blizzard, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's a full team wipe. So looks like Zul'jin Distillery is going to go ahead and press their advantage here and move in on this bottom keep.
Hmm. Yeah, that was a nice engage on the side of Zul'jin, getting the sound barrier out so that all the extra damage is and the engage is reduced. It looked like they caught Junkrat. Didn't see who got caught in the mosh pit otherwise, but they're just able to kind of remove someone before the fight even started.
Yep, so they're pressing in, trying to get this keep, but
Yep.
all of Screaming Weenies is back up now, so I think they're going to have to just back out.
Yeah, they're just gonna back up and take the shrine. Dahaka's already on it, so they're already 20 minions ahead. Uh, Screaming Weenies are almost level 16, but I don't think they're gonna be in time to contest this shrine. And that should be, with the keep already weakened on the bot lane, should be a keep for Zul'jin on this objective. Wow, Nova Nova steals that camp. She had all of her bribe stacks up, it looked like. Yeah, she went covert mission at 4, so Nova gets a little bit of, counter pressure going. They're not really in position to attack the Punisher, but if Zul'jin doesn't respond, they'll probably lose walls there. Punisher gets
Punisher.
distracted.
Yeah, even the Punisher was fooled by
Yeah,
the
he got
Nova
distracted
copy
by a
there.
Nova clone, so he reset the leap timer on that. Yeah, we just have to be careful because the jump timer did get reset. Oh, there it goes out on Diablo. It looks like they're trying to draw it. This is smart. They're trying to draw it up to the top fort. ETC goes for a mosh, gets interrupted. Ring of Frost goes out. APOC comes out, but Nzebo falls regardless.
Here comes Riptire. Oh,
Yeah, but a
perfect
nice
timing
sound
by
barrier. Yeah.
Lucio. Yep.
Not only the Riptire, but also the triple tap was, negated by that sound barrier.
Lucio's
Great
down.
Lucio
Can they
play.
end here?
They could try. I think they can. They got 2 picks, one on Nazebo, one on Stukov. So, Screaming Weenies don't have a support, but Lucio went in a bit too deep. I don't think he's getting out of there. I think they have enough damage to kind of take down the core.
Core's
Junkrat
at
gets picked up.
50%.
Yeah.
It's dropping quickly. Oh, Nova's
Gets
taken
put up.
out Hanzo finally.
Yep. Dahaka gets the revenge
Yeah,
kill.
that the Dahaka tongues in this game were really excellent.
Yeah, same with Lucio's sound barriers. They were also excellent.
Yeah. All right. Well, game 1 is going to go over to Zul'jin Distillery. I've got the stats pulled up here for the game, and so we had 19 kills to 5 on Zul'jin Distillery's side.
Yeah, it looked like Nazebo was able to keep up with the split push experience for the most part with the Haka. It looked like they just got a little bit too far behind with kills in the mid game. Gave up too many, structures and deaths there. Noah actually did having the highest damage on the team for Screaming Weenies.
Yeah, I was noticing that as well. She actually
So,
did pretty good
Noah
damage.
actually did. I think she did okay.
Yeah.
I think definitely got more value than expected on the team fight, at least for in my opinion. But I think they could have done a lot better job with using the stealth advantage a lot more. Scouting out the rotations, scouting out the other team doing camps, and kind of leveraging that unique aspect of Nova's kit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I understand what they were going for with the Nova pick, but I just kind of feel like something a little beefier would have been a little better for them, with the
Mhm.
Nazebo and the Junkrat. Kind of to avoid that situation we talked about earlier where Diablo dives in and opens up your back line. Um, but both teams played really well. It was super exciting. It was really fun seeing the Junkrat and the Nova.
Yeah, yeah, there's some good interrupts on the like ETC mosh pits. Yeah, they had enough disengage to deal with that, but they just weren't able to, kind of coordinate that, right? Because if you're able to, get the interrupts and then, combine that with the pick with the apocalypse, it should be, they might have been able to turn a couple fights in their favor.
Yeah, and just going to chat here. There's some talk about so Candace Buer thinks that a second tank would have been better with Screaming Weenies comp, which we already kind of touched
I think I
on.
agree. I think I agree. I would have, maybe if they picked up someone, more of a bruiser. Like, actually, I think a Sonya would have maybe worked in their comp, pretty well, because that would be someone who's able to do the counter engage on backline.
Yeah, and then Ripper Hots actually adds that he thinks that the single tank might have worked. He or she, sorry, I shouldn't make assumptions. Thinks the single tank might have worked, but maybe not with a Diablo. Maybe something else like a Muradin or an Arthas.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, great first game. I'm really excited to see what happens next. We're going to take a quick break here so we can get the next game set up. Okay. Falendrith and I are back for game 2 of Zul'jin Distillery versus Screaming Weenies. Zul'jin did take game 1, and now we are on Brax's Holdout, which actually is their map pick as well. Falendrith, what are you thinking here? The teams may need to change up, maybe, for Screaming Weenies to turn it around.
Right. I think it's Zildjian had a very solid like standard draft on Infernal Shrines. So I think it's kind of up to the Weenies to see if they want to, if they have a specific strategy they want for this map, or if they're going to try something a little bit more standard. And okay, they're getting rid of the ETC. I don't think they liked even like the briefest of matches in the last game.
Yeah.
I think, maybe Zul'jin is just
What?
doing Lily ban as like a disrespect ban, honestly. Maybe like we don't need a ban. Like we'll play Phoenix. Like we'll leave Phoenix up, we'll leave Maiev up. Like
I don't know. Yeah, that's a real big surprise to me as well.
I think, that seems like a challenge, honestly. It's almost saying to Weenies like, we don't really care if you play any of the meta picks. Like we'll deal with it.
They're like, bring the Weenies.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Because, their draft last time didn't really seem like they needed to ban a Lily. So maybe it's just they're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, well, we'll see what this first pick is. I'll look and see what the Weenies like. All right, they like playing Drunkrat and Thrall. We haven't seen them on Praxis Holdout yet, so we'll see what they. Oh, Blaze is a nice, solid pick. A lot of beacon control with the slows and the sustain that he has. So I like that first pick.
Laying that down on the capture points there is going to be really nice.
Yeah, I like it. A bit more of a standard start there. Well, I mean, Zul'jin now gets their choice. They could. I don't know if they'll go Maiev and Phoenix, but they could. It's up to them.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the fact that they've kind of left the meta picks open and they didn't play them. Neither team went for them last game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see that maybe they're just not comfortable with it, or maybe they just don't doesn't fit into their plan. But just interesting to see that the power picks right now are left open.
For sure.
Yeah, Hanzo.
Yeah, they like that Hanzo. Leoric is definitely a solid pick on this map.
Hanzo did pretty well last game. Some nice engages with the Dragon Zero. Leoric also a pretty solid pick against Blaze, bringing a little bit of self-sustain with the I think it's Drain Life, Drain Hope. I don't remember what the spooky hand is, but he does have his spooky hand to help sustain and kind of fight Blaze in lane, if that is the solo matchup.
I gotta admit, I'm more excited for this draft than I even was for game 1, because I kind of feel like I have no idea what Screaming Weenies is gonna do, and it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see these next two picks. I would expect Screaming Weenies to pick up a support for the next ban phase. Supports I think they're actually kind of highly contested in NGS right now. There's the main ones, Stukov, Malfury, and Lucio, and so you could really do a support choke at this stage if you want. Instead, all right, they go for a Chromie and Thrall. Chromie also brings a lot of that beacon control just because their W basically covers the entirety of it.
Yeah.
And then the long sustained fights that Braxis is are common. Does really well just kind of poking people down before the engage happens.
For sure. I'd love to see that slowing sands right on the control point. Just makes it so difficult for the other team to take that away from you.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. She could go for temporal loop maybe, depending on the support that gets picked on Zul'jin's side. Looks like they're hovering is that Garrosh, I think? Yeah.
Yes. Interesting. Okay.
I
I understand the reasoning, but it's interesting that I believe that Screaming Weenies banned out the Garage last game, so it's interesting.
So maybe neither team really wants to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I really don't.
Yeah.
It is going to be the Garage ban.
So for these both of these drafts, I think need a little bit more wave clear. Chromie does a pretty good job of, wave clear on Braxis specifically, because
Hmm.
everything, gets bunched up. You can just kind of hit everything with a single, Dragon's Breath, I think it is, maybe. Um, the W.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely can as long as the wave gets bunched up. Yeah.
hmm
Yep.
So,
And then they've got Thrall. So that'll be Thrall's always, his ults especially are always really interesting to me because I feel like both his ults can be really solid depending on the
mhm,
situation.
mhm. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Thrall's coming back into the meta a little bit, based on like what's happened in HGC and everything. I don't know if he ever really left, but he's kind of been in like the middle of the tier there. I would expect Thrall to be the solo lane with Blaze and Chromie and whatever the other two being in the four man.
Hmm.
But we'll see what they want to do.
Let's see. Chat is mentioning that Grogman has a really high level Lily.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and
So
that's
maybe
B
target
Meduho
ban.
saying that. Yep. So
All
maybe it
right.
is a target ban.
Yeah, I think we've only seen Grogman's Lily once, so we will hopefully, maybe they'll let it through some other time.
Yeah. And the Malfurion ban makes sense. The roots on the point, they're great.
Yeah, it's Malf is great on Braxis. There's just a lot of sustain that Malf offers. A lot of just kind of solid, setup and sustain, which is really important on Braxis because the fights can get pretty long.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, I love the Stukov
hmm
pickup on this map. I mean, it's just, I feel like this map is kind of like almost made for Stukov.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of forced Screaming Weenies into a little bit of a would you rather play against Stukov or Malf situation, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Stukov does everything you need on Braxis, a lot of sustain at level 4 with one good spread. You basically never run out of mana. A lot of, beacon control with the silence. Basically, Stukov does kind of everything that you want on Braxis. So we'll see what support Screaming Weenies pick up. Oh, or Zakar, okay.
Zagara. I
Oh, and
also
many of
wanted to
you
mention
solo now.
for Murden as well is a great tank here. He's got so much sustain. He doesn't really have to back that much.
Yep. They go with Lucio. Well, I mean, Zildjian already picked their Stukov. So kind of switching up the supports here. I like it. Zagar's
Yeah.
interesting. So now Zagar is going to be the solo then.
Yeah, I
I
think
would
so.
expect.
Yep.
So that's a pretty Blaze and Thrall have a lot of self healing. The game doesn't report that, but in the
Mm-hmm.
stats, Blaze can sometimes heal as much as their support just from self healing in the flames, which is kind of nuts to see. Um, so yeah, that's going to be a pretty difficult four man to poke down.
Yeah, and I was looking for a huge damage dealer to come out from the side of Zul'jin Distillery, and we
Right.
definitely get that with Jaina.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Jaina had some great rings last game, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting to see the same. We'll you know uh yeah, I mean Zul'jin has a solid draft again on this map. And I think, I'm liking Screaming Weenies draft a lot better on, this one. Cigar
Uh-huh.
is a little bit unconventional, but Nidus actually gets a surprising amount of value on this map because it basically means that you can hover near the beacon indefinitely. I don't know if they're going to go with that, but if Zagara is able to hold the top lane, it's going to be pretty difficult to get someone by themselves to take it back. Um,
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting to watch that top lane matchup of Leo, I'm assuming, versus Zagara. And we'll see, I think Zul'jin's going to have to rely on some good rotations to deal with that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we'll just kind of, we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the draft. I think for me on the side of Zul'jin, Distillery just feels a little more solid to me, I guess. I don't know. There's just no better word I can think of than that.
It's a bit more standard, I think.
Yeah.
Zul'jin's playing it pretty safe. These are like pretty standard comps. Not many surprises or surprise picks. Streaming Weenies, I think, is having a little bit more fun. Zagara is not the most common pick, but sometimes it gets a lot of value on this map, and we'll
Yeah.
just have to see.
All right, so on the side of Zul'jin Distillery, we have Dwight playing Leoric, Nutcracker on Stukov, Hanzo's playing by Befresh, Ellerin on Jaina, and Ankle Shot is going to be playing Murden.
All right, and on the right side, we have the Screaming Weenies, Grogman on Lucio, Pez on Chromie, Newman 13 on Blaze, Eudonomancer on Thrall, and Tetriarchus on Zagara.
All right, and you're right. Zagara is going to be hitting the solo
Yeah.
lane, and she and Leoric are heading right up there.
Yeah, both teams going immediately to standard lanes. They didn't want to give Zagara any sort of extra pressure or early pressure up there. So we just kind of get to see the brawl in the bot lane and the kind of, I guess, stalemate up top. All right, level 1 talents. Looks like Lucio's going for the general crossfade speed boost. There's engage on Jaina. Blaze
Ooh,
is caught
Blaze is
out.
in trouble here. Yep.
Yeah, so nice body blocking. All
Yeah.
three of them were standing so that, Blaze couldn't move an inch after he dashed in.
Yeah, it was really nice silence, and then comboed with the Jaina Blizzard just kind of ended his life there.
Interesting build on Stukov right now. I'm interested to see where this goes. He went with the weighted pustule quest, the W projectile. Basically, what that does is after you hit 15 heroes, their cooldown gets reduced, and after he hits 30, it gets reduced even more. So some of the builds you can do with that to deal with the Chromie poke is to go into the traits. Basically, it means that you can do massive bursts of healing more frequently if you play it right. So we'll
Another
see.
nice silence coming out right there.
Ooh, Hanzo gets picked off by Chromie real nice there, getting the skill shots behind the front line. Okay, so Chromie actually picked up Bronze Talons, and I was wondering why that last auto attack did so much damage, but remember the Chromie gets level 4 talents at level 2, and with that last auto attack was able to pick off Hanzo.
Yep. I also wanted to mention that Thrall did go the Crash Lightning quest, so it makes sense he's down here with the 4-man trying to get that stacked.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the beacons spawned. Murden gets caught out, has to be careful. Jaina as well.
Oh wow, Blaze
Nice
chased
heal.
in hard. Almost picked up the Jaina pick off there, but not
Yeah,
quite.
there's nice heal from Stukov. Chromie not able to get those last skill shots in. Looks like Hanzo actually went top, missed that. Tried to drive Zagara off of the lane, almost gets her at that last arrow.
Zagara's got some nice creep going on up here in the top lane, so she's got
Mhm.
lots of vision.
Yep, both top laners going back for now. Hanzo is holding top lane. I don't know if Screaming Weenies know there's only 3 down here. Hopefully, yep, they're going in for the engage. Jaina gets caught, and nice heal from Stukov prevents her from dying. Yeah, Nutcracker's getting some nice value out of his trait. See what they pick up at level 4. Screaming Weenies have picked up the bottom beacon. It looks like they're doing a 2-3 split on the side of Zul'jin. Hanzo's rotating back down, actually, so it looks like they're going to fight over the control. Jaina got picked off by Chromie there, it looks like. I completely missed that. I hope you saw it. But
Actually, I had just checked the top because Zagara was moving back in on the point up there.
yeah, I think it was probably just, a W or, an errant skill shot. Just kind of picked her off.
Yeah, I got to remember with Chromie, really, you can have a kill at any moment.
Yeah. Especially when you're that low. I think Jaina was, below like 30% health, which is definitely in kill range of Chromie. Stukov did go 1 good spread at level 4. So that's okay. That's not the quest talent on his trait. So he did go for sustain there. What other things of note? Zagara went serrated spines, which gives her bonus auto attack damage. Still fighting out in bot lane. The sustain of Lucio is going to be a little bit hard to beat. Chromie goes in a bit deep.
Yeah, Hanzo's all over the Chromie, but can't
Oh
quite
man,
get her.
if she got hit by that scatter arrow, I think she would have died because she's gotten hit by most of the projectiles. Leo picks up Zagara in the top lane. Don't know what happened there, but good work there. Difficult to deal with all the minion summons, but the spooky hand goes right through, so gotta be careful about that.
Yeah, so Zul'jin Distillery comfortably has top lane. They're trying to secure this bottom lane, finish
Nice
off
damage
the
on the
Zerg.
Hanzo. Blaze goes down, got silenced, was not able to escape or use any abilities. Alright, Chromie went Dragon's Eye, which means the Dragon's Breath, the W, does 25% more damage to people in the center, adding further threat onto those skill shots. Not that they haven't been, threatening already. Oh,
Ooh.
gets caught out by Jaina.
Luckily, she
Not,
didn't get stunned or slowed in that blizzard. She definitely, Chromie definitely would have died there. So it was a good job getting out.
yep, just a few more, and just one or two more auto attacks from Hanzo, I think would have gotten her there. Nice job by Chromie to get out of range as fast as she could.
It looks like up in the top, Leo is having a real difficult time with Zagara. He did have to back.
Yeah,
Has moved up to that lane now to cover.
yeah, Zagara is also having a bad time though. Getting picked off by Leo somehow. I'm assuming Leo is just able to go in hard, land the spooky hand just like that, and slow Zagara to the point where, if he does that repeatedly, Zagara eventually loses those traits. All right, so Jim manages to pick up the full Zerg wave. Looks like Screaming Weenies have 16%, and that gives them a couple, extra Zerglings, two Hydralisks, I think. You can also get. No, just one. Looks like. All right. Um, yeah, so we'll see Zul'jin pushing with their wave on the bottom. It's difficult for them down here, right? Because they don't have any ranged damage to really clear this out. Like, Thrall has to get right into the wave. Chromie only has the Dragon's Breath, so, they have to be careful that they don't get caught out in the wave when they clear this, like Thrall is doing right now.
Yeah.
All right, but they're clearing it up pretty fast, though. I think they'll be able to... Ooh, Blaze gets pretty low. I think they'll be able to save this fort, though.
Yeah, they did a good job of defending that Zerg wave, and the fort is going to be safe for now.
Yeah, it was a nice job. Not going too deep to get extra damage on those minions. Chromie gets caught out, uses Temporal Loop to bring Muradin back. Nice combo there.
Yep, probably not the ideal target, but I'm sure she was hoping to get the Hanzo or the Stukov there, but just kind of went for whatever she could reach.
Yeah, it was kind of more of a defensive Temporal Loop just to get Muradin off of her and to prevent any sort of follow-up damage. Okay. Yeah, so speaking of ultimates, Chromie went Temporal Loop.
Ooh, we might have an invade here.
Yeah, that was scouted out. Zul'jin is kind of, they have to be careful. They're split from their team. If their support doesn't get here in time, it's going to be trouble. Not able to steal the camp, but also didn't die. So, all things considered, okay.
Yeah, everybody's all right and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle continues up in the top between Zagara and Leoric.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of, it's one of those matchups where it's kind of only interesting when someone dies. And usually we kind of miss it because it's a pretty slow matchup compared to the bottom lane. As, Blaze goes in for an engage, Silence comes out. And, nope, just poking at each other. Lucio and Stukov both able to heal their teams up. Usually to full. It's kind of whoever gets, poked out and caught first. Blaze has to be careful. He's in the middle of everything.
Yeah, and Zul'jin Distillery is the first 10, and
Yep.
they pick up their ults here.
Ooh, nice damage on Jaina. She was at full health, though, so it didn't really go down there. Yeah, just Blaze not really realizing where all the team members were and just kind of walked out a little bit too far in lane, and that's all Zul'jin needed.
Yep. And for Zul'jin's heroics, we have Entomb for Leoric, Flailing Swipe on Stukov, Dragon's Arrow for Hanzo, Ring of Frost for Jaina, and Avatar for Muradin.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Zagara picked up Nidus Network on the side of Screaming Weenies. We have an Earthquake on Thrall, Sound Barrier on Lucio. Blaze is holding his ultimate for now. Chromie, of course, has Temporal Loop. She got that 2 levels early. Quest Talons, Jaina's about halfway done with her trait, so she's about halfway to getting in, or a little bit over halfway to getting Ice Block. Oh, nope, a little bit under, sorry. About halfway done on Fingers of Frost. Hanzo has completed target practice, so he gets more damage with Stormbow. Zag gets entombed.
Oh, wow. That was a really nice shot by Chromie to take out Jaina.
Yeah, that was fun. There are 2 things happening there. It looked like there was an engage on bots. Zagara was engaged on by Leo, but nothing really happened there. Leo just doesn't quite have the damage.
Temporal Loop on Muradin, but he
Avatar
pops... the Avatar keeps him safe.
Yep, some nice work on both sides there. No one to use Avatar, so they just get burst down. All right, Screaming Weenies though, they do have the control of the beacons. Unless Jin is able to get on this point quickly within a couple seconds. Ooh, Hanzo gets poked down. Frost comes out, nice, catches two people.
Oh wow, and a
Dragon
nice
Arrow
Dragon's
follow
Arrow
up.
too.
Blaze looks like he's gonna go down. We'll see if Muradin is able to get out as well. Thrall uses Earthquake to try to disengage. Muradin gets caught
Oh,
by the wave and
nice.
nice, yeah, wow. Nice
Very well
work there.
played by Zul'jin
hmm
Distillery there.
hmm Yeah, they managed to kind of, take the pressure off of bot lane. They sacrificed two people to do it, but, Janna is still alive. Stukov is still alive, and that is a lot of wave clear on the side of Zul'jin.
Yeah, and they're not having to deal with the pressure of Screaming Weenies pushing in with this Zerg wave. They're able to pretty
Right?
much just
Yeah.
clear it up, in their own time.
They
And
don't have to worry about chromie bombs happening, so
yeah,
they're able to, kind of take care of the wave on their own terms there. This is actually kind of funny for Braxis, right? No forts have gone down. Teams have gotten walls. We're at 11 minutes, which is a little atypical. Typically by this point, Zergwave has managed to put enough pressure to either get a fort or two. Nice job by both teams preventing the kind of snowballiness you usually see on this map. Um, that's fun to see.
yeah, definitely. And it looks like both teams are picking up some camps here.
Neither really willing to engage right now, like just after level 13. I don't know the status of ultimates. I wish we did. I hope Blizzard's listening, but both teams
Yeah,
kind
that'd
of
be nice.
taking camps on the map, trying to get some map pressure. Zagara's got to be careful a bit. Muradin's looking for the gank. I think she
Yeah,
sees creep
Zul'jin is
does.
moving
Yeah.
up on her here.
Yeah, it's tough though, right? Because like the creep gives vision, and Zagara knew, exactly when to move back.
I'm a little surprised that the creep isn't a little more cleared by Leoric. I mean, doesn't his Q clear?
I think so. I actually, I don't see Zag too much, so it's actually I don't know if that works, but I think it does. It should, cleave and reveal the creep tumors. Jin pushing it up top, trying to get Zag to stop it with the map pressure, but Leo goes down in the bot lane because Screaming Weenies are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, and he was 1v4, and the fort went down, which lost the protection he had of the fort, and unfortunately got picked.
Yep. Yeah. The camp also allows, Screaming Weenies just kind of walk up and fight Leo because the fort's distracted with minions. It's not that smart. It sees a minion, it shoots it, and then it works at heroes. It's a pretty easy pick to get, when you have like that big minion wave pushing in. Oh, thinking about boss. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so the Screaming Wieners are going for the boss right now. I don't think Zul'jin's going to scout this out. They're trying to pick Zagara.
Oh, they've gone all out on Zagara. They used Entomb, Dragon
Yeah.
Arrow, just everything. But still, unfortunately, we're not able to get that
Murden
kill.
sees. Yeah, but they already burned two ultimates on Zagara, right? So,
Yep.
this should be something that Screaming Weenies get. Yeah, easily. Green Frost comes out, only catches Blaze. Blaze went combustion, not bunkered. They might lose some people on the retreat, though. It is a 4v5. Zagara is up top.
That was a really smart temporal loop by Chromie there to actually loop the Muradin off of the point, so they were able
Oh, I
to
did see
capture
that,
the
yeah.
boss.
That's awesome, yeah. So, yeah, I guess, Chromie keeping an eye on who is the person most likely to interrupt the capture, and using Temporal Loop to control, where the enemy team is. Nice work. Also, only losing Blaze on the retreat there. It's looking a little dicey, but that was some, good disengage with Earthquake. Blaze just not quite able to, he can't jump over people, so he has to walk through everything and not able to get out. You are being chased off by the same Muradin. See if Leo is here in time to follow up. Does not look like it.
So Screaming Winnie's comfortably has the bottom lane. Nobody's even contesting down there. It looks like the big fight's going to happen up here in
Yep.
top.
They have a level 16 advantage, so I think they should be looking for a fight, and they're gonna get it. Zagara gets entombed, not able to go
Temporal
anywhere.
loop on Jaina and the ice block. Beautiful ice block just to protect from the Chromie damage
Yeah,
there.
nice work. Oh, Ring of Frost comes out, catches two people. Nice sound barrier. Lucio gets it off before the silence goes down. Murder's just kind of in the back line, just punching Chromie in the face, though. She's not able to land half of her skill shots. He
Murden
was only
jumps
hit
in
the...
aggressively there.
Nice damage on the Hanzo. Leo kind of seeing what he can get. Does a full lap around the inside of the fort there. Yeah, nice engaged by Zul'jin there, just kind of entrapping Zagara, getting that kind of basically free of the trap Zagara at Nidus. You can't really get out of there. Um, yeah, Ring of Frost catching 2 people. Nice fight.
Yeah, it looks like Screaming Weenies is going to go ahead and come down to the bottom and take over the bottom point.
Yeah, I think Zul'jin's kind of figuring out, how they can get, how they can beat Screaming Weenies, right? Like, oh, Entomb almost against Lucio. This is an even fight, 4v4. Hanzo is still top lane. Trying to make a rotation down, though. Screaming Weenies have both points briefly. Combustion goes out, catches 3 people.
Murden's getting really low, even with...
Oh,
and he does fall to Chromie.
Chromie getting value out of the Bronze Talons. The lost auto attack taking Murden out. So that's the thing, right? Like, Screaming Weenies are able to win fights 4v4. So the issue is that in order to either Hanzo needs to get like big value out of his Dragon's Arrow from across the map, or they need to fight 5v4. Stukov's a little low. Thrall can get the... Oh, he was going for the chain lightning, but didn't quite get in range. That's what I mean, right? Like, Zul'jin's able to win these 5v4, but are having difficulty with the even matched fights. So if they're not able to win that, Zagara basically gets free pressure in the top lane, and eventually that's going to be enough pressure to take out keeps and eventually the core.
Right. And Zagara couldn't be happier right now. She's got this great wave in front of her. She's just going to keep pushing forward.
She's the queen of her wave, She's she's the Zerg queen. But still on the side of Zul'jin, they have a lot of wave clear. The wave is only going to get, looks like, keep walls and the top fort. Oh, top fort was already down, I think.
Yeah,
Blaze
it was.
catches Murden on the back here. Earthquake used. Temporal loop on Hanzo. Dragon's Arrow hits Blaze, not Chromie. He goes down. Ooh,
oh wow!
Ring of Frost catches 3 people. Sound barrier.
Perfect sound barrier there.
Yeah, wasn't much follow up there. Leo just gets deleted from Chromie with the Dragon's Eye, doing more damage to people in the center. And this looks, maybe like a keep if Zul'jin's able to kind of get these Guardians out of the way, but I don't know if they'll be able to without getting picked off here.
Yeah, it's just so dangerous. Look how low Jaina is, and with that Chromie back there, it's just terrifying.
Yeah, so there goes the keep. Chromie completed her quest just
Speaking
now.
of which,
you can see why that's a problem. Jaina just gets deleted by 2 Sandblasts, and I think she also got hit by Dragon's Breath.
Yeah,
maybe?
it looked like she did.
So that was basically the full combo, and there's not much Stukov can do about that.
Nope.
They're pushing in for the win, actually. The Guardians are still alive. Jaina was a staggered death, so she'll be back in 30 seconds. Stukov puts the silence down to try to clear, and Entomb on 2 people. But wow, that Chromie damage is just so much.
Murden pretty much desperately jumped back there to try to get to that Chromie, and they're just not able to get rid of her.
Amount of damage. Leo got bursted down at that's 2/3 of his health with 1 Chromie combo. Hanzo trying to get the Dragon's Arrow too, but just kind of missed. So bad day there.
Yeah, and Screaming Weenies is feeling good. They're gonna invade this bruiser camp here with no problems.
At this point, it's kind of their game to lose. They're up 2 levels. They have a lot of map control, map pressure. Zul'jin's gonna have to go back and clear out this mercenary camp that's pushing, which gives Screaming Weenies time to pick up all the mercenaries.
Yeah, and that's going to keep the map pressure up and just make it really difficult for Zul'jin Distillery to get those lanes pushed out in time for the next objective. In fact, Screaming Weenies is going on the boss.
This is interesting. So Screaming Weenies don't have 20, so this is actually the time for Zul'jin to engage. I don't know if they're going to make it in time, though. I expect an Entomb to come out to try to separate. Yep.
Murden's on the point.
Oh, but he gets pulled back by a temporal loop. Wow, okay. Zul'jin manages to steal that boss.
Wow.
That's what I was worried about, right?
Yeah.
just for good measure there. This is the one fight that Zul'jin, like, could take and win because they didn't have, like, Screaming Weenies did not have level 20 at that point. So they had to be really careful with their engage because they didn't actually have a talent advantage. And we know that Zul'jin can win fights 5v4, right? So it's something where in this case, they managed to take a lot of the pressure off of the map. It's not really getting them anything except, some damage on the fort. But it does buy them time to catch up in levels before the next beacon phase.
Right.
That was a really fun engage. They just were not able to, force Zul'jin off of the point with one temporal loop.
Yeah, and Zul'jin, I mean, that was really a smart engage for them because, like you said, Screaming Weenies didn't have 20 yet, and, they're looking for a way to get back into this game, basically. And, that could be a turning point for them if they're able to take advantage of that and kind of get settled in and ready to get on these control points.
Yeah, that was really cool. They were very patient too. You saw that, Murden and Leo were kind of sitting in that bush, and waiting for the rest of the team to arrive. So some really smart patient play, from Zul'jin there. They have control of both beacons right now. Screaming Weenies are going to hit 20 before Zul'jin, so they weren't able to make up that difference with that boss steal. So we'll see what they want to do here.
Yeah, so Zul'jin, I'm sorry, Screaming Weenies heads up top. I think they're aware of where Zul'jin is, but now Zul'jin's Distillery is rotating around, and they're going to look for a big engage here, I think, on the top beacon.
Maybe. So now Zul'jin has to be careful, because they're in a situation where they do not have the level 20 talents. They're kind of counting on their ability to survive and kind of win this fight. There's an engage. They're trying to retreat. Dragon's Arrow goes out, trying to pick off Thrall. Nice ice block from Jaina.
Again, a perfectly timed break it down.
Nice Ring of Frost. Oh, he should have held that sound barrier for just a bit. Blaze is super low, goes down to Hanzo on the back.
Oh, Hanzo's doing a great job in the back line
Hanzo
here.
Is uncontested in the back line, just picking off people left and right. Chroma uses bye-bye. She doesn't want to be here anymore. I don't blame her. And, wow, they can, Zul'jin, I guess, knew that they could win the fight down a talent tier. They do have the stronger team fight. And they just kind of, prove that they're not scared of anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, that ended up working out really well for them.
Kind of crazy. The sound barrier was good, but the Ring of Frost was actually held until sound barrier came out. So that was, I don't know if they noticed that or if it was just Jaina trying to run at the time. But either way, it was a smart move, smart play, to wait for that sound barrier to go. We do have storm talents on both teams. Let's see, we have Bossa Nova on Lucio, so a lower cooldown on the sound barrier. Chromie took Piercing Sands a while ago, actually. Speaking of Chromie, she just kind of gets obliterated by a Dragon's Arrow there. I don't know if that was strictly necessary, but it probably feels good. I appreciate it. She was, CC'd by Blaze, unable to use bye-bye. The Dragon's Arrow is used to kind of keep her in place.
Got an Entomb that didn't quite catch anyone here. But Zul'jin Distillery is in a really good position here. That keep just gets obliterated.
Yep. Blaze gets caught down. Lucio gets interrupted with the sound barrier not going off in time. Blaze trying to make it back into the fountain, and it looks like Zul'jin has turned this around.
Wow.
And they are looking to end. Murden popping Avatar. Yeah, they got
this is over. Wow.
The court just melts.
What an exciting game.
That was such a nice play on the boss. Just kind of, was waiting to engage and knowing that they have the stronger team fight and even talent tiers. And then, just kind of going ham and just saying that, we can win the fight even at 19 to 20. Zagara, right, doesn't have, with the Nidus build, doesn't contribute as much to a team fight as I think, Screaming Weenies would have wanted. So they had a lot of good map pressure, but, they needed to end at that last Zerg wave before Zul'jin was able to rally and take that fight.
Yeah, I'm quickly going to see if we can get the captain for Zul'jin Distillery. Sorry, I know my keyboard's loud.
No worries.
All right, so while I wait for that answer. Yeah, so looking at the statistics here, Hanzo at the end just really was a turning point. I felt like,
Yeah, he stepped up. It was kind of terrifying, right? Because
yeah.
Blaze has kind of the same problems that like a solo tank Diablo does actually. So when Blaze goes in, there's not really anyone to peel Hanzo off of that back line. So in that last team fight, Hanzo basically had free reign to hit whoever he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, he just was able to, his Stormbow quests were complete. So his single target damage was, real nice. And they just were not able to uh, deal with that really.
Yeah. So we are going to get the captain, who is DeWitt. Let me get together with him here.
All right. Yep. Waiting
Okay.
on the interview.
Hello.
Hey, DeWitt. How are you doing?
Doing good.
1 second. Let's get Felindrith in here as well. All right, Felindrith's
I'm here.
here. Um, so yeah, really exciting games. How are you guys feeling?
A little relieved after that last one.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We were not looking like we were going to win that one.
Yeah, so actually, talk us through that a bit. You had a really nice boss steal in that, basically brought you back into the game. So I just kind of want to know, what was the thought process there, and then also with the team fight level 19 to 20, which also kind of won you the game. Take us through, kind of how you were feeling and how that fight went.
Okay. Well, it got pretty desperate at that point, so we knew that boss was pretty much gonna do it for us if we lost it, and well, actually that was our biggest, I guess, lose condition. So we went and Ryan and I anchored, or ankle shot and I anchored, so we could keep vision on it, and I was just rezzing, so um, we just we said as soon as we saw him, we said everybody get over here and we're gonna go in at the last possible second. I hope you guys are here.
Nice.
So we jumped on the point and it somehow worked out for us.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then going back to game one on shrines, what were you guys thinking when you saw the Nova pick?
Yeah,
You
it
wanna
was
answer?
a little surprising for us, but we just decided that, if we stuck together as a four-man, we'd limit her opportunities, and she's squishy enough that hopefully we'd be able to just blow her up before she dealt any real damage.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was kind of expecting them to pick, maybe something a little beefier, like a bruiser or something. So the Nova surprised me, although I kind of saw what they were going for, because you did have Jaina and Hanzo, which are, kind of squishy. But you guys were able to just overcome that and some nice moshes. And
Yeah, I feel like we caught her out um, where she thought she was safe with the copy a couple of times. We managed to find the right one.
Yep.
Every once in a while, so
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good job kind of keeping her from picking anyone off on your team. I did actually want to ask, we were talking about this in draft a bit, can you tell us a bit about the Lily ban? We heard in chat that it might have been a bit of a target ban, so we're kind of wondering about the thought process there.
yeah, it was 100% a target ban. Their Grogman is apparently a Lily main. Did a little research earlier today, and he's like a level 60 or 75 or something on Lily. So I thought he's got like a 69% win rate with her. So
As why risk it, right? Just kind of
yeah, I mean,
take it out.
there was definitely some discussion not to on the team. I
Yeah.
think ankle shot. I don't think you wanted to, but
Yeah, I was hoping to ban out someone else, but it worked out.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked about that Felindrith because we were really kind of surprised and we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out what was going on with Lily. But that makes
Definitely.
complete sense now that you explained it.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean, it's
also
interesting.
was wondering about Braxis. That was your team's map pick. Is that just a map that your team it just feels good to you guys? Is that kind of a common pick that you like to pick up for
That's
map choice?
that's our first choice. Um, and last season it pretty much got banned out from us every match. So this season we've seen a lot of Praxis actually. So a little
Yeah,
bit
I think
surprised.
we've seen a lot more, I think, than last season already, and it's only the first week. Um, yeah, it's kind of good to see that one back in the rotation a bit.
Well, we really like it. This this draft didn't actually work in our favor like we thought it would. They picked up that Blaze, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and pick up Leoric because
Yeah, we
Blaze is
thought he
their
was in.
obvious solo laner. And then they came out with that Zagara, and I was getting bullied the entire game.
Yeah, it was tough. I think we were talking about that too because we thought it would be Blaze in the solo lane as well. The Zagara kind of caught us off guard. So it was for us it was fun to watch the drafts, but I don't know for you it might have been a little bit less fun to see that kind of surprise come out.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the late Zagara. I guess I should have held the solo laner, but I didn't think I need to. But yeah,
Right.
good pick by them. I mean, I'd say that almost won them the game.
Yeah, it was yeah, looking dicey for a bit, but
Yeah, that Chromie was dropping in so much damage. So I saw your Muradin player just jumping in there trying to get to her at the end when they pushed down that top keep.
Oh yeah, that was ankle shot. He had a huge, I guess, call out or
Yeah, I mean, we
something.
figured it was late in the game that it was worth just going for a kill at that point, and we noticed that she'd taken the bye-bye, so I just needed to not miss my cue, and we'd be able to blow her up.
right.
Yeah, I
Nice.
even took the silencing and tomb just for Chromie, but I never
Hmm.
actually like she was dead before I got to her.
That's
So
always a good thing,
yeah, good play by ankle shot for sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, definitely congratulations on the domination here tonight. Do you guys have any shout outs?
Shout out to Ripper for helping us out with our
Yeah,
strategy and stuff and drafting, and to our sub, the Colt. Hadn't got a lot of playing time, but he's hanging in there with us. So appreciate him.
Awesome. Well played. That was a very exciting match to cast for sure. And good luck to you going forward. And hopefully we'll see you again.
all
All
right,
right,
thank you
thank you
guys.
for casting. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was great fun. I really enjoyed that. I hope you had a good time. Thank you so much for casting with me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And
Thanks for
hopefully we
hosting the
can do this
stream.
again.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, and how can people get in touch with you?
Me. So I do have a Twitter. I don't use it for heroes that much. I'm just at Falendrith. Also on the Discord. I'm in the NGS Discord also under Falendrith. I put together the database for the parser program Stats of the Storm. So there is a NGS database for week 1 if you want some stats for your team. It doesn't do analysis for you. Sorry, you're gonna have to hire your own stats guy for that, but should give you a little bit of help with scouting for your teams. Um,
Awesome.
yeah,
That sounds fantastic. Well, thanks again for joining me, and thank you everybody for watching the cast. And hope you had a good time. And we will see you again soon.
yep. Thank you.